Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Katie Snow. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a popular topic, brain health. There's a range of different disorders that people deal with that fall under that umbrella. So there's anxiety, depression, overwhelm, inability to adapt to stress, memory issues. There's also Parkinson's and dementias and then Alzheimer's. So what we want to talk about today are just some different resources and tools that we use. One tool in particular, one supplement that we've seen some just amazing testimonies in our clinic and our office with patients that are using this one particular supplement. So just to get started, some different factors that impact our brain health. So of course there's age. When people over the age of 40 and they get into their 50s and 60s, the body is in a state of aging. It's in a state of oxidative stress. And then also diet and metabolism. Those are also factors in our brain health. The amount of stress that people are dealing with, the amount of sleep that they're getting, environmental toxins, whether someone's doing any regular detoxification work just to keep those toxins at a low level in their system, social connectiveness. So we went through COVID and how that impacted people, but just how they're dealing every day with friends and family and how connected or not connected they are to other people, our physical activity and what role that plays in our brain health. So all of these things are just super important factors in our brain health. So effective cognition and brain function supports our ability to solve problems, learn and remember things going through life, and then also appropriately using and recalling that stored information. So I would say stress is probably one of the most impactful things that we deal with today. With today's technology, with social media, with people trying to be more efficient, they have bigger plates at work and bigger plates at home, things to deal with. So I would say at an all-time high, stress and how that is playing a role in these different brain disorders. So I want to share a little bit about my background with stress and then how this new supplement that we're using has made a difference in my own health. So in my 20s, I went through a very rigorous 8-year doctorate program to become a pharmacist. I worked for years in very high volume retail settings for pharmacy, super high stress. Then me and my husband decided to open a natural health practice where we serve people with clinical nutrition and chiropractic care and functional medicine. So lots of stress with running a business through COVID, dealing with that, and having kids. I had a very low blow. I had a miscarriage at 5 months. And so an enormous amount of mental stress dealing with that. And then just physical stress as my body had to go through that. Then we also have a 5-year-old who was born with special needs, a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and also autism. A lot to juggle, a lot to deal with, and just a lot of traumas that we've dealt with in the last 10 to 15 years. One thing that I was dealing with, through dealing with all those traumas is I started waking up with panic attacks, high amounts of cortisol, anxiety in the morning. I got to the point where I didn't even want to be around people. I was very sensitive, just being around loud noises, going to the grocery store, managing my time. If I was short on time, I would just get very panicky. I'm sure some of you are watching this video can relate, but it was getting to the point where my inability to adapt to stress was really just getting too much. I knew that I had to start looking at some different tools. Again, eat a healthy diet. I do detoxification work at least once a year. I exercise twice a week. So many things that I was doing right. We have a superhuman protocol at our office, and so I was using that and I was getting some results, but I still just was having that nagging anxiety that just seemed like it wouldn't go away completely, or I couldn't get it below a 3 or 4 on a scale of 0 to 10. This new product came out from MediHerb, so it's an Australian herbal company that we carry at our office, and they introduced this product called Neuroregenex. And so I thought, well, they were speaking very highly of it, using it in Australia for a few years before it was released to the United States market. Because I was so wanting this anxiety to be under control, I thought, hey, let's give it a whirl. So I started taking it at the dose of 2 per day. It can be taken as much as 6 tablets per day, but I started, at a conservative amount. Within a month, it was very drastic result. So I knew, wow, there's something different about this particular supplement. So just to give more information on the Neuroregenex, so there's 4 ingredients. There's the turmeric and then also Boswellia, very powerful antioxidants. They are using a certain technology called Fenumat. It has a delivery system, it has fenugreek, which a lot of people have heard black pepper. That's what helps activate and allow the turmeric to cross the blood-brain barrier. So the fenugreek actually with this Fenumat technology is actually even better than some of the ones that are on the market with the black pepper. So with those two, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, just huge difference. What we're seeing with our patients that we're putting this product on. There's also Bupleurum root and then Gotu Kola. Those are the 4 ingredients. But we are just seeing amazing results. Have some patients that have come in with Parkinson, dementia, and then also just some people with that nagging anxiety, very intense anxiety that we're seeing some results with. So our brain health, we need our brain for the long haul. Our brain is using 20% of the body's oxygen and the body's energy. We really have to do all the things that I talked about, the self-care, making sure our diet and sleep and stress level and all the things that we can do to control, but also adding a remarkable tool like Neuroregenex to allow our brain to get some of that inflammation out and just to make sure that it's working properly. Hey, if you're dealing with any of these things I talked about today in this video, definitely give the Neuroregenics a try. I'm going to have a link to it in the description box below, so click on that. And then, hey, if you're dealing with these things and you need some guidance and direction, we can certainly help you at our clinic. We do see virtual patients. I'll also put a link in the description below for how you can do a complimentary phone consult just to find out more information about our office. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun to make, and I'll see you next time. I'm Dr. Katie Snow, helping you transform your health naturally.